Hello everyone, Miri here and welcome back to my channel. Today I managed to play a little bit more of Starry Flowers, and I say manage because today was one of the days where essentially my scheduling was all over the place, so I had to make do with what I had. Thankfully, I was able to reach like chapter 7. Yeah, I think that's what it was, but the point is that I have reached a part of the game and I think we are nearing the end, in which Periwinkle realizes that having all of these feelings bottled up about Bastille is essentially harming his work. Although I wouldn't say that he realizes, but rather his friend, the apothecary, essentially tells him, hey, you need an outlet for these feelings because until you talk to someone about them, and I mean all of them, you are gonna keep producing a peach scent. And if I remember correctly, this was a callback to when he first tried to trick Bastille, just for the fun of it, into thinking that a peach scent, sorry, that he had on his shelf was actually and I'm gonna say it like this to keep it PG, but let's say it he essentially pranked him briefly into thinking that it was a love potion of sorts, which was essentially one of the first excuses that Periwinkle tried to use to rationalize how he was feeling about Bastille before essentially have some sense knocked into him by a witch that was basically extremely angry for some reason at the store. I think it was a potion store that he visited to try and figure things out at first. I think it was really nice that Astra pretty much just sat him down and basically let him speak. She listened to him, and I think he reached a point where he feels relaxed, although I haven't reached the part yet where he essentially tries to make some magic again. I hope that he managed to do so, although I believe that the only way he can go back to quote unquote normal is if he actually confesses his feelings to Bastille for once. And essentially, we got to this really emotional moment, although I basically had to age restrict it because it got a little bit saucy. And while there wasn't anything that was that explicit, I didn't want to take the risk. So I basically age restricted it. But yeah, in that video specifically, he essentially confesses that he actually, and oh my god, I want to hug him so badly. He had a bad experience with romantic feelings because he got so overwhelmed by them that he overwhelmed the guy that he was currently, well, at the time, interested in. And I feel really bad for him because he really liked the guy, you know? And I can sense that he is afraid that he's gonna scare Pastilla away. And I'm just like, you two better start being boyfriends already. And at the same time, I want to hug both of them, especially Periwinkle now, knowing what I know. And honestly, well, I'm God, how can I say honestly when I'm about to say I want to be frank? Well, anyways, I'm afraid for, Bastille and Periwinkle. Hell, I even spoiled myself a little bit over, what Bastille actually thinks of Periwinkle. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. It's actually pretty wholesome, but I pretty much spoiled myself because I wanted to find out whether the two of them are basically dating currently, because the thing is, the game, I know this is a narrative resource, I believe that's how you say it in English, because in Spanish is recurso narrativo, narrativo, narrative, and no, wait. Yeah, I said recurso narrativo. There you go. God, I clearly need some sleep, even though I slept quite well, but what can you do? But yeah, essentially, recurso narrativo will be translated in English into narrative resource. I could be wrong, but yeah. The narrative technique that they use, I know that it's essentially in the past tense. First person is something that it's quite normal, but at the same time, I'm worried that the way the story is told is like a foreshadowing that they do admit that they love each other, but they are not currently together. And if that happened, it will break my heart, especially because of all this build up. I'm getting really attached to the relationship of those two. It's really cute and I'm rooting for them. Like, Periwinkle, come get your man. That's how I am right now. And I think it's pretty sweet how, I've already mentioned this before, but I'm gushing about the fact of how open they are about each other. And essentially, they feel so comfortable around each other to the point that they're pretty much just hanging out every day. And Pastilla is even cooking for him. And it's the most adorable thing ever. And yeah, he already met his friends. Yep, it's official. Periwinkle already met Pastilla's friends. They haven't said that they are boyfriends, but it's kind of lit in there, and I hope that it does, because I want to see these two happy. But yeah, oh god, I gushed a lot about it, didn't I? Anyways, when it comes to the progress on the drawing of Ramona Flowers, I finished today the goggles, the rollerblades, and also her purse. And I'm kind of experimenting with how I draw objects, because to draw the shoes, actually the rollerblades, I kind of had this idea of essentially sculpting them, if that makes sense. You will see it in the speed draw. Because yeah, I'm gonna upload it. You will see in the speed draw what I'm talking about, but it's essentially like I sculpted by essentially painting as if I was filling up the section rather than just trace. And I pretty much just tweaked a few things, and I know that this is not the best explanation, but right now it's all I can manage. But you will see when I upload the speed paint. I think I made quite the good progress, and I'm also experimenting with thicker lines, because I believe that at the distance that I'm not distance, rather size, I believe that thicker lines will look a little bit more sleek and will essentially complement the sketch quite well, because it has happened to me that whenever I use, whenever I essentially reduce the size of the brush, it doesn't look that well and I have to tweak a lot. So yeah, a little bit of an experimentation there. Anyways, I really need to go to sleep. See you guys in the morning, alright? Good night!